What's going on, YouTube? Cold Covers here, back with a brand new video. And today, as y'all can tell by the title, we're gonna be creating a concept cover art for Drake's Iceman album. Now, the Iceman album is rumored to come out in the next couple of weeks. So I said, hey, why not jump the gun here and why not get ahead of the game? I know people have already made their own Iceman concepts, but I'm gonna make an Iceman concept today. So stay tuned, get your popcorn. And without further ado, let's get into the video. But before we get into the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe down below. Join the crew. Ooh, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Jordan. I've been graphic designer for 4 years now, and I love music, I love cover art, and I love art in general. So I'm combining all these three passions into one platform. So if you guys just would hit the subscribe button and check out the other videos that I've made on the channel. We've got this Deeper Than Art series that I think you guys would really like. The style for that series is more so like a breakdown of albums and the album art as well. And then I also recreate a piece as well. So since this album hasn't come out yet, I'm not recreating anything. There is no initial inspiration. It's just going to be the inspiration that I find offline, really. So without further ado, y'all, let's get into this video. Alright, y'all, so what we're going to do real quick is we're going to go over my mood board and my vision for this album, right? So I kind of did a little bit of research this morning about the themes of the album. So I think Drake is really going to get into his bag, right? We're going to see a lot of rapping. We're going to see a lot of... Drake has a lot of different unique sounds, so I'm not really too sure what to expect for real. I know the last couple of projects have been like, when we talk about song count, like the 20 range. So I think we can expect that, but I think he's gonna address a lot of things on this album, especially the beef. You know, that's probably the number one thing he's gonna talk about subliminally, right? But with that being said, I think we have themes of loneliness, and I think we have a good theme of a comeback, right? You know, coming back, rising yourself up, being uplifted, right? So for right now, these were just images that I really just like stylistically. I kind of want to have a big image of Drake here, and then with like a smaller one. But I also like how this guy, he's like standing over a cliff and the city is around him and there's mountains in the back and all that. I really like this concept right here. And I actually found this piece too. I'm not sure who created this piece. I do want to, maybe his name is on here. I can shout it out real quick. Okay, I can't really make out his name, but shout out to the artist who made this. I really like how he's looking at the city. It really tells a story, and he's just like on a cliff. Like he's just looking at the towers. There's a plane in the sky. There's stars in the background. I really like how this looks, you know, stylistically. So these are just my stylistic references. We'll get into more deeper and themes and things like that later. But for right now, these are just my styles. I really like this image because of the blues here. I think I want to use something closer, similar to this, but I also like these blues because we still want to have it. I still want to have it like a snowy background, a snowy vibe. So I think we're going to incorporate these blues, but I also like this too. I didn't think these were bad, you know, stylistically. But these are just style references, y'all. Just things I'm thinking about putting in the cover art itself. So nothing here is permanent, but we'll see where it takes us. We'll see where it takes us, right? So then I also like this. This I thought was cool. I really like this texture on top of this. I really like the emotions as well. This is different. I'm not sure who made this. Shout out to whoever made this. These art pieces, you guys inspired me a lot. But this looks really cool. I really like the texture on top of that. So maybe we'll throw a texture like this on top of whatever I make, right? And hopefully that'll look cool. And I also like the blues here, right? We kind of have a grunge kind of look, right? Oh, this is Schoolboy Q. I'm tripping. I'm like, what? I'm like, I don't even know who this is. This is Schoolboy Q. Okay. I see Blue Lips and I seen the album. Okay. My apologies, y'all. I don't... It's not every day I listen to Schoolboy Q, but... Nah, this is hard, though. This is hard. I really like these blues here. I really like how it's like on his face in certain spots. The highlights are white, and then for the shadows they're blue. So we'll definitely use some type of gradient map for this piece. I just threw this one in here because it looked cool as well. I'm not sure what elements we'll take from this one. Oh, I didn't even peep that. The city is on his hat. That's cool. That's cool. And this was here just for the text. I kind of like this cursive looking text, so maybe we can put Iceman in this kind of font as well. And then down here, I just have some images I really want to use. Excuse me. I think I also want to have like Toronto somewhere in this, right? So I have the Iceman truck. Don't know how we're gonna fit that in there, but we'll figure it out. But the main images I want to use is this image right here. I think this is a great image. This tells a lot just from looking at he's in a stadium by himself and he's drinking wine by himself and he's just looking out to the crowd. I'm not sure what he's looking at. I'm not sure if he's looking at a play or something, but it just shows you a lot of depth and a lot of, okay, this man has everything in the world, but he still finds himself in empty rooms, right? So I really like this image a lot. And I also like this image as well. This image was hard to find, yo. I had to go on Instagram and really do some digging. So I think what we'll do for this image is we'll just put it in upscaler to make it more crisp and more clean. This image, I just threw this in here. We'll see if that fits in there. It might not. We already have a lot of styles that we're clashing because we like this style and we like this style and we like this style. So we're putting like 3 styles into one for the moment. And we'll see how it goes. All right, y'all. So I found this image on Unsplash. I really liked it. It's just hard to, get because there is a lock on it. I had to pay for this image. So to get a little workaround behind this, I actually went to ChatGPT and I asked it to make me a prompt of something similar to this. I'm going for this look. But if I don't get this look specifically, then I'll be okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to be nitpicking. I really just want to get started, right? I really want to get started. So let's see here. Let's go back to Midjourney. Let's type this prompt in. I recommend you guys get Midjourney. AI is taking over. So it only makes sense to utilize AI nowadays, y'all, to the best of your advantage. It's only going to make stuff easier for you and you'll be able to come up with ideas easier. And yeah, so let's see where this prompt gets us. I don't know if it's going to work, but sometimes Midjourney works, sometimes it doesn't. But right now I have the membership for $30 a month, so you guys should go check this out. Highly recommend that you get it. But let's just see what it makes. Let's just see what it generates. And if it generates something cool, then we might use it. I know it generated this earlier. And I actually did like this a lot. We actually might end up using this one, to be honest. I don't know. We'll see. We have to see what the elements look like. Okay, they made... Okay, let me see. Okay, this is dope. This is dope. I like that. I like that. I like this. Wow. Yeah, and you can see the tower in the back. Yeah. Okay. Nah, I actually really like these. We gotta move this guy out the way, so maybe, let me see. Cinematic winter massive cliff overlooking Toronto in the night. Sky viewer standing on the cliff. No, okay, we'll take that out. Let me see. So we'll do it again. We don't need the viewer standing on the cliff looking down at the city. So it looks like it gave us like similar images, but okay, not this one. Okay, this one's cool. Okay, this one's cool. Okay, let's put that in there. Nah, I don't really like that one. And okay, let's see, because I want to fit the truck in here somewhere. So maybe if we add like a road or something. Cinematic winter cliff, vanishing point cliff. Okay, let's type it in ChatGPT, y'all. Okay, not bad. Not really what I was going for, but I see the vision. Okay, you know what? Let's stick with what we got for now. We'll play around with these. Let's try this one. So what I'm gonna do now, y'all, is I'm gonna do a sketch. So I'll be right back. So we'll have Drake right here with the wine glass. He's sitting, and he's got the glass in his hand, right? Then we'll kind of blend this into the cliff image, right, that we made on Midjourney with the city and all that. And then we'll have him standing on the city. I think we'll use that image that I showed you guys earlier with him. We'll have him looking over the cliff, and somehow we'll put the Iceman vehicle in here as well. I'll put the vehicle in here as well. And then at the top, we'll have space up here at the top, so we'll just put the title up here in this section. And then after that, I think it'll be done. You know, we'll just do gradients, we'll throw textures on there, and we'll manipulate it and make it look more realistic, right? So I think we have our concept here, and without further ado, let's get into it, man. Let's start. All right, y'all, just a quick update of what we got going on right here. As you can see, this is what we have so far. I think we're almost to the finish line, y'all. I'm just adding in highlights right here on top of Drake, as you can see. And I think I also want to do something with this truck. I'm not too sure what, but right now it looks pretty good, actually. I ain't gonna lie. The truck looks pretty good. We were able to find this background. This background came out really well. And I think we're getting close to the end here, y'all. To be honest, I don't see too much more editing going on. Maybe just making this image a little bit more sharper. Maybe adding, I think I need to make this shadow a little bit darker, because I did add a texture on top of it. So maybe adding the shadow a little darker, and just adding the parental guidance thing. And I don't know what else we could add. I think I've added everything I wanted to add for the most part, and it looks cool. It looks cool. Maybe turn these down a little bit so they're not so prevalent, and maybe move this moon over just a smudge to the left. Let's see if we can do that real quick. Oh wait, hold on. Maybe just move this down a little bit, because I feel like it's competing with the title right now. Or maybe make this bigger and make the title smaller. So yeah, I still got a little bit of ways to play around with it for right now, but I think so far it looks pretty good. Like I think I do like the title right there too. I think the title does look good right there. The Iceman. It's like, it kind of reminds me of an episode of like Batman the Animated Series for some reason. I don't know why it reminds me of that, but it reminds me a lot of like this. Like, I don't know if you guys saw the Heart of Ice episode, but it reminds me of this a lot. I don't know why it does, but it just kind of gives me like this nostalgic vibe. And I don't know, it's just coming out really well, and I'm really impressed by this. So I'm gonna try and finish it up now, y'all. I will see y'all in a little bit, and then we'll review it. And yeah, I'll see y'all in a little bit. All right, y'all, it's been a couple of days since I last revisited this art piece, but as you can see on the screen, this is our final product. I actually posted this on my Instagram not too long ago, so make sure you guys go follow me on Instagram at Cold Covers. Leave a like on the post, leave a comment. And also feel free to DM me too. Like if you got any questions about design, or if you got any questions in general, you know, let's keep it design related, but if you got any questions, just DM me, or if you want to just chop it up, or you get inspired, or you want to do a challenge with me, yeah, let's chop it up, let's connect. But as you guys can see on the screen, we have our final result, and I'm actually proud of how this came out. I'm actually proud. This looks really well. One thing I do want to critique myself on for the next time is trying to fill up this space right here, because it's bothering me, y'all. Bro, when you make art on a consistent basis and you know design principles and you kind of like study the theories and all that, sometimes negative space and balance can play into your favor. But for this case in particular, it's bothering me, y'all, like that there's nothing right here to balance this out with the moon on the left side and the drink in his right hand. So you see how it's kind of like everything's balanced on this side, and then over here we have balance down here, but there's nothing over here to compensate for that. It happens though. Like I said, art is supposed to be imperfect. It's not supposed to be perfect. There's gonna be mistakes in art. There's gonna be ups, there's gonna be downs, there's gonna be pieces where you could have did this differently, you could have did that differently. But the most important thing is to finish. You gotta finish the piece. So just remember that, like, it's not gonna be perfect. Like, there's always gonna be something you can nitpick at and get better at, and you just learn from each piece. Every rep that you make is just a learning lesson or a tool for the next one, right? So if I'm going into my next piece, I'm thinking, okay, fill up this space on the side. That's just a side note. Maybe do my highlights a little bit better. I've gotten better at highlights, I will say that. But on certain areas look a little, oh wait, hold on. Okay, I don't know why it's not letting me zoom in. Give me a second. Okay, certain areas look a little like cartoony than others. Like this looks a little cartoony. But overall though, it looks good. Maybe the title in too. Maybe if I put the title somewhere else on the piece, or maybe if I use a different title in general. Maybe if I made text instead. But overall, I think it's a good piece. I think it tells a story. I think we get the message behind this, where Drake is just, he's reflecting on his life, and while he's reflecting, he has these lonely moments where he might just be sitting by himself drinking a glass of wine, or he might just be on the edge of a mountain looking over at the Toronto city with his Iceman truck. There's many and loneliness is something I can relate to, so that's why this piece resembles a lot in me and is a little bit personal to me, because loneliness, and there's a difference between being alone and being lonely, so to speak. But I think both coexist at the same time when you're feeling both of them, right? So in this instance, being lonely, meaning that you don't have too many friends around you. You don't have a lot of people around you. And that's okay, y'all. I just want you guys to be encouraged that loneliness and being alone it's okay. It's something that you can go through. It's something that you can learn from, and it's not the end of the world. It is tough to deal with though, so I would just try and put yourself around social people or in social spaces. As long as you have one friend, then hey, that's all that matters, right? As long as you got one friend. And yeah, so the topic definitely hits home for me, the feeling of loneliness, and especially let's take a lens into Drake's perspective, like especially when you're on top and everybody loves you and everybody's cheering for you and all that, and then the moment you lose, you kind of lose the respect of your peers and everybody that cheered you on, and now you're sitting in reflection like, dang, was it all real to begin with? Were these people really for me? Were they really by my corner? Did they really love me? Right? And to that, you have a drink to that. I don't drink, but some people might, they might have a drink to that, or they might find themselves just looking over the city off a cliff, But I think it's a good reflection piece. I think it speaks emotionally. You want to have pieces that speak to people emotionally. You want to spark emotions because emotions are very powerful. It's something that can be manipulated, right? People have a hard time controlling their emotions, right? And that's normal because we're all humans, right? We all have emotions. So sometimes when you manipulate emotions, you get reactions, right? Which is what you want in art. You want reactions, which is why some of the most famous pieces and the most iconic movies that sometimes you don't really understand or you don't really like, and you might look at them a couple of times, but they sparked emotion and they sparked controversy. That's what you want in your art pieces. To spark controversy and emotion, right? So, does this spark controversy? It does, because it's a Drake piece. I think not the art itself, but the fact that it's a Drake piece, I think it does. And does it spark emotion? It does spark emotion. If you've dealt with like I said, loneliness or anything sort, then I think this does hit home for you and you can relate to it. Now, let's compare it to these other pieces. And I'll let y'all be the judge. A or B? We'll say this is A, we'll say this is B. I'm gonna go A because this piece is still crazy. I think you get that same feeling when you look at this piece and you look at this piece as well. I think they both tell the same story, which I am glad because this is one of my main inspirations. And then we have our next piece right here. And I think these two are very comparable as well. I love how you can see a full city, which even deepens that idea of loneliness, because now he's standing here by himself and there's a full city around him. So this is impressive. I'm still gonna give it to this piece. This piece is incredible. And I thank this artist for inspiring me. And I also thank this artist right here for inspiring me. And let's look at one of our original references as well. How does it compare? Similar. Sizing is a little different, but and funny enough, this is Schoolboy Q. A leak came out not too long ago of Drake dissing Schoolboy Q and Kendrick Lamar's team. It was just kind of ironic, right, that I had both of these sitting up beside each other. Yeah, man, I had a blast with making this design, man. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you give this a like, comment, and subscribe down below. Join the crew, and let me know if you guys want me to do more videos like this one. This was a different video. You guys got to kind of see a process of how cover art is made. And I got way more videos on the way. I got a lot more ideas that I came up with. And I'm just so thankful that you guys are a part of this journey with me. Not a day goes by where I don't check my feed. I'm like, sometimes y'all don't comment, sometimes y'all do. And when y'all do comment, it makes the world for me. It really helps me to keep going, and it makes me realize that somebody out there is watching. There's people that like the content and that watch the content and that enjoy the content. So I just want to thank you again, and just subscribe, and I got more in store for y'all. So I'm gonna see you on the next one.